You know why you clicked on this video. You want to see how good the Browns are this season. Let's get right into it.
Week 1, they have the Dallas Cowboys.
Now, this one's going to be a difficult matchup.
Sure is.
It's two good defenses facing off, you know?
And two solid offenses.
But I don't think Deshaun Watson is as good as Dak Prescott.
For that reason and that reason alone, we give the
Exactly.
Cowboys the win. Browns their first loss of the season. But the next week they have a much, much easier game.
Now we have the Jags. And I don't think the Jags are going to be that great this year. Definitely not anywhere near where they were last year or even a couple years ago. I think Trevor Lawrence is overrated. The Jaguars have lost a lot of key parts. So I'm going to say that the Jaguars lose.
Giving the Browns their first win of the season. Now, if the Jaguars wasn't easy enough, they move on to the Giants next week.
Yikes, man.
The Giants we're not very high on the Giants.
Yeah, I think that, well, it's hard to be high on a team that has a QB that
Can't play.
picks,
Yeah.
like in preseason games, like their
Which
candy
is
bars.
And then, so Giants legend Daniel Jones is not going to be able to lead them to the win, and that's going to give the Browns their second win of the season.
Yep.
And after the Giants, they move on to the Raiders, who this season are looking like they could be pretty solid.
Yeah. I think that the only question is if Gardner Minshew plays well at his quarterback position, but I think that my problem with the Raiders is that their offense will not be good enough to beat the Browns defense.
Yep.
I think that the Browns have enough offense to beat the Raiders defense. So the Browns take the win here.
Oh, yeah. And, I mean, it's like they wanted to start their season off easy because they play the Commanders next. Which,
And yeah, no, you go ahead.
all right. As of the day of recording this, Commanders just lost their second string wide receiver, or their wide receiver 2, we'll go with, and Jahan Dotson. So now they're down to pretty much one relevant receiver, and then I don't know who else.
Exactly.
So, yeah, that's kind of an issue here. And
Their
Browns
wide receiver
defense
room
should
is bleeding out.
yeah, Browns defense will cook them.
Yeah.
So for that reason, we got to give the Browns a win.
Yeah.
I'll let you take this one, Mason. You got the Eagles next week.
Next week they play the Eagles, and I don't think the Eagles are going to be good. Once again, I think that the Eagles will actually be much worse than last year, mostly because they are missing the key component in their center, Jason Kelsey. So, and Jalen Hurts has been degressing, if you watched last season at all. So, I think that he's going to choke against the Browns defense, and the Browns are going to pick up another W.
Oh, yeah. Next week, they have their first divisional matchup of the season, being against the Bengals.
At home.
At home. I'll let Mason
Now,
take this one.
in front of the home crowd, the Browns are going to ball out. Come on.
Yeah.
And they always play really well against the Bengals. So I have this feeling that the Browns are going to win this week.
Giving them a record of 6-1. Now the next week is one of their other two divisional opponents. This time being the much harder, much better ones, in the Ravens. Now,
Ravens have made significant improvements.
yeah, Ravens, I firmly believe, are the best team in the AFC. You could
I agree.
argue the best team in the league, but 49ers are close.
Yeah.
But I mean, the Ravens have literally, they had a phenomenal team and they added to it. And I mean, this shouldn't really be a question. I think that the Ravens, my bad, walk away with
Ravens.
the win, giving the Browns their second loss of the season.
Yep. And then I think next week they play the Chargers.
Ooh, yeah.
And
At
I
home,
don't think we really need to talk much about this because I think that the Browns are just going to kill them.
too. Simply put. Browns have a much better offense, not a much better defense, but their defense is better, and their defense will kill the.
Statistically, actually, it's way better.
Yeah, their defense will kill the Chargers' offense, which isn't really there. So yeah, going into the 10th week, that's their bye week. They are 7-2.
Great record.
Very good record actually, and it's only going to get better because the week following they play the Saints.
No plug. Okay.
Oh yeah, we're not doing this one. But if you want what we're talking about, you got to go watch the other videos just so you can see
Exactly.
what happens during the bye week's unusual. Now,
Yeah.
they can play the Saints this time at the Caesar Dome.
And once again here, I think that the Browns defense is better than the Saints offense. And that the Browns are just kind of... Unfortunately, the Saints quarterback is going to struggle.
And you give the Browns the win.
Yeah.
And here comes their other divisional opponent that they have not played this season. That being the Steelers.
Now, the Steelers look awful. Okay, let's just be honest here. They don't look too good this season. They have two quarterbacks that are not proving anything during this preseason. I think that the Steelers are going to lose here.
Yep.
It doesn't even matter where the game's at. I know it's at home for the Browns, but it's not going to matter in the long run.
So that's giving the Browns their 9th win. And speaking of other games that are very easy, they got the Broncos up next. This time at the Broncos Stadium.
Yeah. That's pretty awful, man.
Yep. And this should be a clean-cut, easy win for the Browns, making them 10-2. Now they play the Steelers yet again this next week, just pretty much back-to-back. This time in Pittsburgh. Now,
the Steelers lose again.
Simple. Yeah, easy as that. Steelers just aren't good. They're either gonna have a quarterback that's gonna throw picks or just be in Russell Wilson, sadly.
Yeah.
Or a quarterback that's just gonna run and get sacked in Justin Fields.
Yeah.
Which it's kind of funny too, the Steelers, because he's a Bears fan, I'm a Seahawks fan, and they have both of our former quarterbacks on their team now.
Yep.
So yeah, that's interesting. But what's also very interesting is the fact that they get to go and play the Super Bowl champions the next week.
Yeah. And I like the Browns defense, but I don't think it matters here because Patrick Mahomes always finds a way.
Yep.
Whether he slips the refs at 20 or what, they win.
Always win. So we got to go ahead and give the Chiefs the win on this one.
Yeah.
And then next week they have their divisional opponents, the Bengals, again, this time being the home game for the Bengals.
Yep. And this time, I don't think the Bengals are going to get swept by the Browns. They're going to win this game at home and take down the Browns for the first time. And I don't know how long.
Yep. And the Bengals video will come out later today. So if you want to see how we thought the Bengals did, feel free to go look. But Bengals are, they're looking good this year.
They're really good.
And so following the Bengals, they have the Dolphins, right? Dolphins at home, which honestly, their defense could be enough to put up with the Dolphins' offense.
Yeah.
And
I guess it could be enough, yes, but I don't know.
Tyreek might toast him. And realistically, this one could go either way. But we had to put an upset in there. So
yeah, we give the Dolphins the win here.
Yeah. And for the final game of the Browns' regular season, they have to go and play the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore.
Yeah.
Now, this game could go either way if, and only if, one thing. If the Ravens are playing their backups because they've already clinched the number 1 seed, I think they did that last season too. So if they do that again this year, the Browns can beat them because it just won't be a great team that they'll be playing.
But I think that it would be hard to punch the 1 seed when you have the Texans and the AFC as well. So
and the Chiefs, so it's
the
not
Chiefs.
an easy conference. So for that reason, we had to go and give the the Ravens the win, ending off the Browns season being 11-6.
That 4-game losing streak at the end of the year.
Yeah,
Rough,
very rough.
but that's a playoff record right there.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And yeah, if you liked what you watched today, feel free to subscribe. We have a bunch of other videos in this format. All of the NFC is up and posted. The AFC will be coming out today through the first game of the NFL season, so that Thursday. And yeah, thanks for watching, and yeah, see you later.
later.